The movie starts in 1986 in Okinawa, Japan. We see Daniel. He goes to visit Master Miyagi while he is training, and he is received by teacher Miyagi, and his drawings or pictures of his ancestors from the family are on the wall, and he knows him Bishambo, who was the first person to enter the arts karate in its mood with the universe Gafuf family. He tells him his story and says that he was a fisherman. Once upon a time, there was a ship trip. A new storm came and swept away his ship to the coast of China, where he was hosted by the Han family. They taught him the art of boxing until he mastered it. Then Shimbo returned to Japan and told them about the knowledge. This is what happened to the connection between Kung Fu. Karate is in the family, and since then they maintain this connection and use it as a method in martial arts. And after we know this story takes us to the present time in China. We see the teacher Han in his school, and he was training children in Kung Fu at that time. A little girl comes and warns the teacher Han that the doctor coming to the place. It is clear that the teacher is worried about Han. He asked her to quickly turn it off and on again, so that she doesn't see her son while he's training. At the same time, they warn him that his mother is the lady. Fong came to the place, so he ran to it quickly. He hides, while Master Han receives the lady. Why do you tell him that you respect him? But she knows that he is training her son in secret. She doesn't want to lose her son like she lost him, his big brother, before that, and she begged him that he completely understands her position and continues talking to her and makes her aware of it. If she gets a job in a hospital in New York, why will she take her son and travel soon and live together? There she asks his permission and walks, and when he listens to her, this talk goes after his mother and catches up with her. He is upset and does not want to travel to New York. He wants to stay in the place and train in teacher Han's school, but his mother, Fong, tells him fighting will not benefit him in his life. I have decided to travel and I will not go back on it. Why did he move with his mother to New York and not be there? He looks excited about his new life. The city, and on this day after he's settled in the apartment, asks her permission to go down to buy food from pizza restaurant at the beginning of the street, and it goes down. He goes to the pizza restaurant and enters it, and when he says for the restaurant owner if he wants stuffed pizza on the Chinese way, makes fun of him. But Mia's daughter, you go in and apologize to the person you know that the restaurant this is Italian and serves only Italian pizza. She also helps him and guides him to the next restaurant and says it is possible that he finds food in China. He prefers it, so he thanks her and leaves. That day, the one after him, while he was in the subway, poster for a martial arts competition called the Fifth Neighborhood, and then he arrives at the school. He is trying to follow the new lifestyle, but he prefers not to feel a sense of belonging while he goes back to school and sees Mia in front of a vegetable store. She receives merchandise for her restaurant and it falls from her vegetables, so he volunteered to help her and he thinks about it to himself. So Mia tells him that she remembers him and thanks him, but why is he offering to do it to her? He carries her things and walks with her to the place. The restaurant agreed and they sold it while they were walking together at the Kung Fu training center, and he sees why the trainees are inside him. So Mia tells him that she is not. You hate this place and want to get away from it. At that moment, Ushio, the owner of the training center, appears. He addresses Mia and tells her to reach her father. Victor sent a message that he must pay the debt. He doesn't care about Mia, and why does she take him? And he continues walking, but Ushio enters after that to the training center, and he says to Mia's ex-boyfriend Connor is still seeing Mia with a new guy. Connor gets upset when he hears this, to the point that he violently beats the trainee with him. As for Mia, she goes to a hardware store. An electrician wants to buy a machine from him, but the woman, the shop owner, is not willing to lower the price. And you don't know how to deal with her here. Why does he interfere and talk to her in Chinese and succeed? He gives her a big discount of $100. I am surprised that he was able to get something from the woman. He was deducted just because he spoke to her in Chinese. And you will be interested in learning Chinese words from him. You can use it later and get discounts. They agree to meet and he teaches her some words, Chinese, and the next day he actually gets 100 and takes it with her on a tour of New York City. On the wheel is working, but the wheel motor is broken. They are forced to take the metro, and there is a metro car. Connor, Mia's ex-boyfriend, with his friends, we were riding by chance and it was obvious on corner he is upset that Mia is spending time with him. So she asks him not to cause problems and to let them go. They are preparing and Connor pretends that he will let them. They were running, but suddenly he hit him in the face. And he gets a bruise on his face, and it gets bigger. Everyone finds a way to hide the traces of this bruise, so that his mother does not see her. They take water from him. Her father, Victor, used makeup to hide her. They know Victor was a boxing champion. Former but hero playing and promised 100 girl that he is not he will return to fight again, but despite that, he is always affectionate to fight and enthusiastic about anything related to it. And second the day Mrs. Feng discovers the bruise on his face and she was upset with him because he promised her before that he will stay away from violence, and she decides to take him with her to the library, and you know him as a respectable student named Alan so he can study with him and be friends with him. Tonight in his room, he's taking out his belongings. The box shows a picture of his deceased older brother. He remembers when he was training him to kick the dragon fast, and the next day after it's finished Connor approaches the school and annoys him as usual. Why did he attack him while he was angry? But because Connor a professional fighter who hits him and knocks him down. So he stands up and remembers his brother training him on dragon kick fast, and when it comes to execute the movement against Connor surprises Connor by saying that he knows about it. He kicks him in anticipation and the teachers come. They were fighting among themselves. And Connor told him that if he had the daredevil challenges him to remain in the competition the 5th neighborhood, which he wins every year, then why is he walking and watching the competition? On the wall, he takes one of them, but why? He promised his mother that he would not participate in any fight we see. Then he looked frustrated, then he decides to go down and fix Mia's wheel. Unemployed at this time in front of the pizza restaurant, it turns out that Ushio sold his men to Victor's restaurant to demand that he pay the debt he owes. They beat Victor, so he intervenes and they fight. He is with them to protect him from them and they are holding him. They disobey and try to hit him, but he dodges. He hits them and hits them back, and when they find him strong like this, they run away and then come in. Victor goes to the restaurant to talk and asks how he is good at fighting like this, so he tells him why he was training Chinese Kung Fu on the hands of his teacher Han, and they asked him about the debts that so Victor knows that he took it from Ashi. He has a debt that he is unable to pay and has no other solution but to he's selling the pizza restaurant to make ends meet. He is very attached to this restaurant and it is dear to him, but it turns out that he has another idea. He brings the money of the debt and he accepts the offer. He applied to participate in a boxing match, but the problem is that he promised his daughter 100% that he wouldn't go back on it to fight, and also because he has many years left he doesn't train, so he needs someone like him to train him. But why? He apologizes to him and tells him that he will not be able to train him because he promised his mother that he would not participate in the fight is over, and then Feng asks him to come. She is going to a Chinese festival in the city, so he agrees, and he goes with her. But after that night when he calls his teacher Han and asks his opinion on Victor's topic, is he going to train him or not? He took it easy and told him that if he considered Victor as honest, so he must help him at the right time. He needs him, and that's why he decides why to train him. He goes to the pizza restaurant and tells him that he agrees on his training, and they take Victor to a room in the store in the restaurant and they start training, but they are training together. Mia sees them and gets nervous with them. She blames her father Victor because he promised her before, so he doesn't go back to fighting, but Victor says she thinks this is just one fight to pay off her debt. Although Mia is upset, she does something in spite of her father's insistence and leaves it to him. He completes his training and in the following days he stays. Why does Victor train in Kung Fu techniques? And he also decides why he works part-time. The restaurant is close to Victor and completes. He trained with him and his relationship began at 100 closer, and we see Connor at this time passing by in front of the restaurant. He sees them together and gets upset. They are close to each other and he prefers to continue in his vector training until he is ready to fight. And the night after that, he sees his mother. She was sleeping on the couch, so he came closer to her and covered her. Then he looks at the picture of his dead brother and returns. He feels guilty, and that's why he goes out. All his anger is in hitting the punching bag, and he sees it Victor hitting the punching bag hard and angrily. He talks to him and tells him that he is his friend and can listen to him. Anything he wants to share with him to make it easier. So he started talking to him about his dead brother. And he tells him that he was a champion in Kung Fu and won many competitions before, but the fighter who he lost him, so he sent his men to beat him up and take revenge on him. And one of them stabbed him with a knife, and then he stayed. He was frozen in place from the shock and could not move. He helps his brother while calling him, and this matter continued. It affected him and made him feel guilty, so Victor advised him to, if he has a problem with the past, he must face it. and he admits it in order to recover from it. Instead of, he suppresses his feelings inside and hurts them and makes them feel that his words are convincing. And the next day Mia is exposed. Why did he come with her to the festival? San Gennaro. But why does he tell her that he is not? He is free, and he promises her that if he finds free time he will go there and meet her, and at night he will leave. Indeed, the festival is a surprise to its owner. He sees Mia there with Connor, and she looks like she is comfortable with him and forgives him for putting his hand on her shoulder. Of course he was sad because he started to love her, and that's why the next day, which is on the day of Victor's fight, Mia notices that he ignores her, so she tries to talk to him and make him understand her. The reason he ignored her is that he saw her yesterday at the festival with Connor. Mia is trying to explain to him that things are not as he thinks, and she tells him that last night I met Connor by chance, and at first they talked, but then she confirmed to him that she liked him with another person and asked him to stop interfering in her life. Why do you tell him that the second person is him? Why does he feel happy and pleased and get closer to her? He kisses her, but at that moment Victor sees them. He interrupts them and tells them that this is not the time and leaves Victor to the ring, and we see Ushio there. We also know that the fighter is Victor's second opponent. It remains Ushio's and Ushio's recommendation. Victor enters the ring and is mocked by the audience because he was a former champion, and he starts the fight, and Victor is fast at first, but then he gets exposed, so he punched him from the second fighter and passed round after round. He is trying to counter for strikes. He asks him to use his agility. He remembers the exercises they did together, so he listens. Victor is talkative and can hit his opponent a lot, and the fight will be in his favor to some extent. Ushio gestured to the second fighter that he hits him with his elbow, so he hits him with his elbow several times, and the referee, they don't interfere or do anything until he faints. Victor is in the ring, and then Mia enters to the arena. She is shaking it and calling out to him. He helps her, but we see why he is stubborn at the time. He is in place and does not move, and the same thing happens to him. It happened when his brother died, and he was in shock to the point that he is in front of the hospital gate when Victor is being transferred to her so she can go in with him, because they need him, but he still can't. He moves, and we know that Mrs. Fung is the doctor who treated Victor in the hospital and is graduating. Why did her son talk to her and yell at him? Because he promised her. Before that, he did not participate in fighting and violence. Don't leave him. Tell him to try to keep it on people's lives instead of destroying them, of course by polishing it. He meant his brother's death. The days after that, he remains withdrawn and alone until one night he returns home and feels with a strange movement in the apartment. He knows that his mother, I haven't come back from the hospital yet, and suddenly someone attacks me. He is in the dark and a fierce fight is taking place between them. Why is he trying to confront this person? And when he opens up, he is surprised that he is the teacher Han and Fei. At this moment, Mrs. Fung opens the door. They quickly pretended that he wasn't talking to them. They were fighting and chatting, and then he sat down. They eat with them, and Mrs. Fung asks him frankly about the reason for his coming to New York. Hani tells her that he is coming to visit her, but it is a short visit. It will go on all the time, but it will be clear from her looks show that she is not reassured and cannot believe it. Han enters the room and sees the championship poster. The person lying on the ground can understand the situation, whoever passes by it, without speaking. Why does he say to him, life can sometimes give a person blows, strong and expected, but a person must choose to. He gets up, continues, and doesn't give up, even though he's coming. He visits him to offer him help at the time. He needs him because he is his friend. The next day they take me to the hospital to visit me, Victor, and as soon as Mia sees why, she leaves the room because she is upset with him, so he offers it to her. His teacher Han tells Victor, and Victor tells him that why did he always talk to him about him a lot, and B is, I feel guilty because Victor will have to sell the restaurant to pay off the debt. Victor tells him this is not his problem and he does not have to feel guilty because he didn't do anything wrong when he trained him at that time. Teacher Han intervenes in the conversation and makes promises. Victor will help him in his own way because friends help each other in times of need. He asks permission, leaves them, and goes out. At that moment, it's easy. He knows that he decided to train him and let him participate in the 5th biology competition that he saw on the sticker. Tells him that the competition will end in 10 days. He must be ready, but he will leave it for 2 days. He goes to visit an old friend of his and then comes back. He trains him and doesn't give him a chance to object and leaves him. He walks and actually goes here to the old house. His teacher Miyagi's friend stands in front of his picture and he revives him. And then we see Daniel appear, and B also came to visit Master Miyagi and said to him, Hanan was looking for him to get to know him. They have been talking to each other for a long time. They know that teacher Miyagi was always he considers him his close friend and has told him more than once, if he needs help, he can look for him. He asked for his help and that's why he was looking for him. Because his student needs to learn arts karate from him, and Daniel Bacon is happy from what his teacher Miyagi used to say about him, but he apologizes to Han that he can't help him. He is training his student and he won't be able to travel with him to New York as he requests, but Han tells him he says goodbye to him and waits for him in New York. And he is confident that he will come and we will return to him with his friend, the Neen, and his problem is that he has not found a place to train, so he told him that he knows a place where he can train and take them. The roof of a building would be suitable for training. So he thanks him, and the next day the teacher wakes him up from sleep after he came back from his trip and passed by. He prepares and gets ready for training because there is no time. They go to the roof and start their training, of course. They go to the roof and start their training, of course. The training includes taking off and putting on the jacket. And he makes him do it while he is exercising, and upside down Han asks him to focus and react fast, and we know then that Han spoke with Mrs. Fung to convince her to let him. Why is she training her son and telling him that art is fighting is not violence, but it helps people. He finds himself and helps others, and we follow him here. He continues his training. Why? Daniel appears on the roof and actually comes as he says. Han was confident that he would work and live. The two teachers are together and Han knows why Master Daniel Hyderby in karate and while he was training him in kung fu, and both together, each one trains in his own way, and it happens. They have funny disagreements about the way they train. And then he realizes why the training is like this. It will be difficult in light of the differences between them Monday, but of course he knows that this is in because these exercises will make him stronger. That's why he continues training until there are only 4 days left until the appointment, the competition, and he decides why he should approach his teacher Han, and the subject of the 100 quarrel is why, and he declares that he is hesitant if he goes to make up with her. He will tell her it is okay. If he thought Mia deserved it, he would have done this. He must not hesitate, be convinced, and start thinking. He tries to make up with her and orders a pizza, especially from the restaurant. Mia goes in her wheelbarrow to arrive. The student goes up to the roof of the building and is surprised that why are you waiting for her there? It's obvious that she's him. She is happy with what he did and they keep talking. Together, Mia tells him that he does not have to participate in the competition is for her father or for her, so why would he do this to find her meaning in his life? So Mia asked him if he was confident in his decision. He tells her that he will be. I am sure if she supports him, and they come back second to each other, and we will go to the opening day of the competition. Because these exercises will make him stronger, that's why he continues training until there are only 4 days left until the appointment, the competition, and he decides why he should approach his teacher Han, and the subject of the 100 quarrel is why, and he declares that he is hesitant if he goes to make up with her. He will tell her it is okay. If he thought Mia deserved it, he would have done this. He must not hesitate, be convinced, and start thinking. He tries to make up with her and orders a pizza, especially from the restaurant. Mia goes in her wheelbarrow to arrive. The student goes up to the roof of the building and is surprised that why are you waiting for her there? It's obvious that she's him. She is happy with what he did and they keep talking. Together, Mia tells him that he does not have to participate in the competition is for her father or for her, so why would he do this to find her meaning in his life? So Mia asked him if he was confident in his decision. He tells her that he will be. I am sure if she supports him, and they come back second to each other, and we will go to the opening day of the competition. Each one of them hits him in his own way and warns him his body's reaction must be automatic and quick. Then they see Daniel trying to do something. The dragon kicked him, so he was curious and asked who taught him this move. Why does he tell him that? His dead brother is the one who taught him that. Unfortunately, Connor knew this move, and when he tried he did it to him before. He kicked him and made him fall on the ground. Daniel then tells him that it's a good thing because he can use this move differently than what Connor expected. And then that night, Daniel sits with him. He speaks and Daniel comes out with a cloth headband. Teacher Miyagi's special, and he tells me why this headband expresses the style that he combines karate and kung fu, and decided she gives him a gift, so he is very grateful and prefers it. Why in the days after that he tries to execute a kick. The dragon passes under the rotating arm and the two teachers train him at the same time to develop his physical fitness and agility, and he can perform the dragon kick and pass under it. The rotating arm is ready in 1 day. The final fight is what I'm waiting for. He is surprised when his mother, Fong, enters and talks to him. So he tells her that he expected what she was going to do. He says it, but his mother surprises him and tells him that she came to support him, hug him and tell him that she is proud of him. With him, this feeling is the feeling that why does he need to take the fight and prepare? Then with the two teachers and they put a tie on him, Teacher Miyagi's head, and why is it coming out? To the ring, and all the people are excited, and he enters Connor to the ring, and each one of them keeps looking at him the second before the fight, and when he bows to him to greet him, he is surprised that Connor does not bow. Why? Because he is independent and starts fighting. What is between them and why is he trying to direct his blows to Carr? But Connor blocks his blows and kicks him with his foot. He wins 2 points and then he attacks him, but Connor hit him more than once, to the point that one of the strikes is expected with the referee, and that's it. Connor wins 4 points and the fight is over. For his benefit and for what he does, and he gets great encouragement from the audiences trying to focus and remember the tips. Why did the teachers tell him not to try? Connor attacks, but it's simply his reaction. For his strikes, he carries out the teacher's instructions. He can actually land the first blow and take the first hit. Point, and Connor gets angry and nervous, so he attacks. He is a fanatic, but why is he confronting him? He hits him with his foot and takes a point again, and then why can he be equal to Connor in the score? He continues to fight and is able to land blows. He keeps going and wins points and has nothing left for him, point, and he wins, but Connor surprises him with a strong kick. They are in the air, and he expects it to fall to the ground and open up. Why are his eyes encouraging him to get up, even though he doesn't? He is not able to, but then he remembers his brother who. He died and decided to take it upon himself. He doesn't give up and actually continues fighting, and he gets up. Everyone is surprised. Even Connor himself is surprised that he didn't give up, and the result was they tied and there was 1 point left to win. And each one of them prepares to attack, and here he decides why does he perform the dragon kick and attack Connor. Of course, because Connor knows this move, he rejects it. He raises his leg to deliver the final blow. But why does he surprise him and lower his body in an unusual way? He expects and dodges his leg and does a lower kick. Connor loses his balance, so he finishes on him. With a decisive kick, he won, and everyone was happy with the new hero. And at this moment, Connor from behind, he tries to attack him, but why? Then he feels it, so he moves quickly and flips over on the ground and raises his hand to hit him, but the teacher Han then called him firmly so that he doesn't do that, and despite his anger, why does he hit him? His hand is on the ground and he stands up and extends the corner. At that moment, Connor bowed to him and greeted him. And everyone is happy with them at that time, and after a few days we are looking forward to the opening of a second branch of Victor Restaurant. He invited them to his restaurant and served them special stuffed pizza, just like the Chinese like it. And also, Mr. Han sends a pizza order to my house. Daniel takes the pizza box, he opens it and finds the teacher writing to him, "Thank you." And he tells him that if he ever needs help he can talk to him, so Daniel gets happy and finishes the movie.